The period when Australia's First Nations people's children were forcibly removed from their families and communities to attend government or church-run schools. This period of Australia's history is called the Stolen Generation. These institutions made by the government aim to assimilate Indigenous children into mainstream society, severing their ties to their culture, language and heritage. The impacts of this traumatic experience resulted in intergenerational trauma, loss of cultural identity and social challenges within Indigenous communities. On May 26th, Australia commemorates Sorry Day, an emotional day for all citizens. The day serves as a national acknowledgement of the historical trauma experienced by Australia's First Nations people and offers an opportunity for reflection, reconciliation and healing. For many Australians, Sorry Day is a time to express remorse, empathy and solidarity with Indigenous peoples. Today, we'll commemorate Sorry Day, acknowledging Australia's history, past wrongs and working towards a more equitable future for all Australians.
The Stolen Generation refers to a time period in Australia where young Indigenous kids were taken from their families because they were half-caste. They were mixed racially, so they had either white parent and Indigenous ancestry. They were taken to missionary camps because they wanted to educate young Indigenous kids on the white way of life. Some people who were affected includes myself, where my great-grandmother was taken to Retta Dixon, which is a missionary house that's located just across from Bunnings Warehouse, near Coconut Grove. May 26th is a day that will always be remembered as National Sorry Day. Kevin Rudd apologised on behalf of Australia to all Indigenous people that were affected by the Stolen Generation. And as a result of this, Canada also apologised 6 months after to their Indigenous population.
To have any child at any time, for any reason, forcibly removed from the arms, the care of their family, particularly their mother, has been needed at times. That is to be acknowledged. At the same time, we need to understand and put in place practices, protocols, principles, guided by values that ensures that the birth mother, for all intents and purposes, for all time, has ready access, non-compromised time with their mother. For mother and child create a sacred space, a very powerful space and a place which is sacred, it's powerful and is a way of healing not just themselves, but healing into the whole world. Thank you.
I'm Yaron Stewart. I'm one of the maths teachers here. I also run the Clontarf class. My family's had family history involves some of the Stolen Generation. So my great-great-grandfather was part of the Stolen Generation, and that's where our family lost connection to culture. For my family, we don't really have any traditions or anything, and that's kind of what the point of the Stolen Generation was to sever the link between the future and the past. Unfortunately, that's been successful with my family. My auntie has made efforts to re-engage with our culture. She's putting in that effort and sharing it with the rest of us, which we're really grateful about. So while the effects of it still are felt in our family, it's slowly being undone. And Sorry Day is a good way to take into account or celebrate, maybe rekindling some of that stuff in my family.
My name is Jaden Caleb Konatich Shepherd, and I'm here to talk about the Sorry Day and about the Stolen Generation, which my grandmother was a part of, and she told me some of the experiences that she had went through. It was actually really sad that she had to go through those things. It makes me really sad sometimes just thinking about it, because it's really hard sometimes just thinking about that, and how I saw from my point of view such an awesome grandmother that was so happy all the time and so loving and caring. That Sorry Day for her would have been very nice, you know, so.
And hearing those stories from Terence, Jaden, Mr. Blomley, and also Mr. Stewart has also affected me too. Because it makes me think why we need to commemorate National Sorry Day, just to acknowledge the struggles that these guys have shared their stories with us, just to acknowledge their ancestors, with how strong they are through enduring through the Stolen Generations. I believe we should continue commemorating National Sorry Day.
Hi, my name's Gianna, and I've learnt a lot from Terence, Jaden and Mr. B, and it's helped me be more empathetic towards everybody. It's helped me learn not to judge people by what you see them as, because there can be so much going on in the background, and it's much deeper than what you think.
I would really like to acknowledge something really positive and powerful that came from the Sorry Day and the then Prime Minister in 2007, Kevin Rudd, who offered the formal apology, which led to something really powerful on the world stage. And I'd like to acknowledge a very special person in my life, my mother, particularly as it was. So not so long ago was Mother's Day, and I do recall in 2007 when then Prime Minister Kevin Rudd offered the formal apology. I rang my mum and said, "Mum, are you watching this?" And she said, yes, I am watching this. And I said, "Well, Mum, how do you feel?" And she said, "Well, two things. One, I'm finally glad that they acknowledged it actually happened. And two, what about all those other girls who had their children removed because they were not Catholic, or maybe because they were not married, or because maybe they didn't have sufficient funds? Children were taken away." Not long after that, about 6 months, then Prime Minister Kevin Rudd offered a formal apology to all mothers who had their children taken away, which is a very sacred domain, a very sacred field where mother and child are together. So every effort should be made to ensure that mother and child and mother have every opportunity to be together. Now, a big thank you as Australia on the international stage, on the global arena. When then Kevin Rudd offered that apology, Prime Minister over in Canada offered another formal apology to all of his Canadian First Nations people. So I think Australia does have the capacity and the capability to be the flagship to the rest of the world in so many ways. Happy Mother's Day and happy Sorry Day. Thank you.